Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and I'm here with my husband, Noel. Good morning, Ross and Southern Charm Reclaimed Vintage. Hello. Good morning, a Monster Mama. All right, Wednesday morning, you guys, halfway through the week. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, so I'm hoping you guys have some questions or something on your mind. I did jot down a few things. Always have something in reserve just in case you do. All right, Reclaim Vintage, throw it out there, and we're going to talk about whatever it is that's on Reclaim Vintage mind this morning. So I'll keep an eye out for that. While I'm waiting for you to type, really quick housekeeping, check the show notes. Always suggest you check the show notes. So take a look at that. And Saturday morning is my Warm Embrace show. So I'm going to be loading between tonight and Friday. So I'm working on a little bit each evening. So check that out. Warm Embraces, those are your neutrals, the basket type stuff, the woods, the ducks, kind of all that, no, I don't want to quite say farmhouse, but that just a neutral, warm kind of decor. So if that's your aesthetic, definitely come and see me Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And then Friday, that's your aesthetic too. That's mine. That's how most of my house is kind of those neutral colors, which is no surprise. I dress the same way. I dress in very neutral colors. Very rarely do I wear bright colors. So that's mine too. Friday, our topic Friday for the business show is how to professionally deal with challenges in live selling. So it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation on Friday. I've been working on my notes for that show. Good morning, estate addicts. And so with that, we're going to just I've got some stuff to talk about. I'm waiting to see what is on Reclaim Vintage's mind. If you had something you wanted to talk about, throw it in there and I will, that's what we'll talk about. We'll kick it off with that. You like that sign behind me? Thank you. So my She Shack sign, say that 10 times fast. Okay, I see your comment. I'll get right to it. There is a little primitive store. It's actually a barn on somebody's property that they've turned into this really cool primitive shop here in Pennsylvania. And she makes these things. Yeah, I don't know if she or a friend makes them for her, but she gets those. They're really cool. Okay, so let's see. I've had several priority packages delayed in transit in the last few shows. It's been 6 days for this last shipment and still waiting on delivery. Oof. Yeah, I wish I could help you with that. USPS is like, wow, they're not doing great, are they? The only thing I could suggest is going to your post office. If you actually go to your post office, they can do, and I forget the proper name, it's like GPS, or it might not be GPS, but there's something that works like that, where they can do a little bit deeper dive on where your packages are. So I would try that, and ultimately having to get refunds from whatnot. Is anybody else experiencing this, or is anybody else seeing a big delay on packages? And on that same thought, I have another question for you guys. Yes, so we have USPS turns you away. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, look at a lot of people are seeing this right now. So maybe it's something with USPS, something that they're going through. Lost 2 packages. Now, I haven't noticed, and here's my question. Once I mail the package, I do my job. I try to get everything out within my 2 days. Once I mail it out, I don't go back and look. I don't track it. I don't see when it's delivered. The only time I ever go back and look is if I'm contacted by the customer that there's an issue. I don't have the time to like track all of my packages. Who tracks their packages? Who makes it kind of like part of their normal routine to follow up and see if their packages got to the places they're supposed to be going? Do you? Keeper of the memories. I did. Thank you for sharing the vintage Gypsy Brie. They stuck 2 packages together. Oh no. Sometimes, but smaller. I think what happens is that, hold on, let me do something really quick here. If I can, give me a second. The only time that I've ever checked is if I'm nervous about something. If I ship something that I'm super nervous about, I'll do it. But normally I won't. It's interesting to hear that people do that. I think if you're shipping less packages, you probably have more time to do it. I don't know. I always thought that was interesting. But it sounds like, it sounds like there is an issue maybe going on with that. You check once a week to see what's still out there. So that may be a good kind of middle ground where you just kind of do a quick scan, because you can filter, right? I'm pretty sure on your shipping page, you can filter to see what's still undelivered at that point or in shipping. I forget the proper title, but there is a filter for it. So that could be a good middle ground. Just do a quick kind of scan just to see if there's anything that's like really, really old that you're like, oh, maybe I should be processing. Thank you. That I should be concerned about. I like that middle ground solution. So, all right, here's another question for you. Because since I didn't have good morning, Lori. Since I didn't have a real in-depth topic to talk about today, I wrote down, I have 5 things that I've heard on the Whatnot streets this week that I thought we can talk about. Just different comments I've heard here and there that sparked my mind, kind of got those wheels spinning on why they would say that, what it meant, that type of thing. But before we do that, I would be super curious to know, what is the best piece of advice you have ever got on Whatnot? What is the best piece of advice you have ever got? I was trying to think about mine, and mine wasn't so much a piece of advice as it was an observation to other people. Just do it. There you go. I mean, that kind of sums it up. You just got to get over your fears. Just hit that button and get out there and do it. Mine was more so watching somebody that I've considered a mentor to me and that I've watched and kind of learned from, and following their presence of being Switzerland. Not so much just being totally to yourself. You're not good at that, of just doing it. So just being Switzerland in the sense of, I'm not getting mixed up in the drama. I don't want to get involved in all the hoopla. I'm just going to focus on my business and do my thing. The best advice might be to schedule multiple shows so they can be bookmarked. Love that. Absolutely. If somebody likes you and they don't know when to come back and see you, you're kind of like, it's like having a storefront that says, yeah, we're open today, but I never know when we're going to be open again. So don't ever make plans on coming back. So, I mean, the total sense. Always have some shows to bookmark. No delays. Keep 7-ounce package of scrap paper, change to Ground Advantage budget box, and charge my customer more. How do I fix it? I keep having a 7-ounce package of scrap, change to Ground. It's 7 ounces. It will never be priority. And the only way it's going to charge your customer more is if they are international or the weight isn't 7 ounces. The weight is over the 16 ounces. So double check the weight, but if it's 15 ounces and under, it's always going to go Ground. It'll never go priority. That's just the way Whatnot works. And that may actually be a USPS thing. But I know for sure on Whatnot, when we put it in, that's how it goes. Melinda's Time Capsule, welcome in.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Melinda's Time Capsule, thank you so much for bringing your people over. Everybody who came over with Melinda, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. This is our chat and sell. We have some stuff in the auction tab we get to eventually. Anything that's pre-bids we run. Shipping is $4.50. And other than that, we're having a good old time talking and drinking coffee. Melinda, please put down there in the box what you do, who you are, what you sell, when your next shows, all the stuff you want people to know about you. Feel free, Melinda, to put that in the box. All right, we do have some pre-bids. We're going to get to those in just a second. So nobody else ever got good advice. I've heard 2 pieces of good advice. Y'all, I'm hurting for you that there's no good advice out there. I mean, my examples aren't necessarily good advice, but we're going to turn them around to figure out what is good. So Melinda has vintage decor, 6 a.m. Girl, you are up early. Every Wednesday and Thursday. Touch it, run it. Yes, touch it, run it. Don't, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want, oh, please don't. Touch it, run it. Absolutely. Always be selling. It's a Green 13 saying, I can't take credit for it. ABS, always be selling. Be true to yourself and find what works for you. You guys, if there is no better advice, to me that's kind of along the same lines of the Switzerland thinking. You don't have to do what everybody else does. You don't. Just because everybody else is doing XYZ type of show doesn't mean you need to do that same type of show. Myra, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
Don't beg for higher bids. Right. If you want to do low starts, I'll say it until I am blue in the face. Low starts work. I'm a firm believer in them. But if you feel that you can't, or they make you too nervous, or you are just like, I just don't feel like I'm there yet, don't do it. Start it for what you need. With that said, keep in mind the buyer's perception. So keep in mind on who your audience is. Are they really going to pay that? And just because you overpaid for something doesn't mean your buyer's going to overpay so you can make money on it. So you got to put all of that together, keep all those thoughts in mind. But don't beg for the bids. You shouldn't have to beg for bids. Your personality, the experience you create, the product, all of that should sell itself. Now, are there techniques that we can use to help explain value, convey value? Absolutely. But you shouldn't have to be like, come on, everybody, please, I need this. And not everybody needs to start dollar bids. I totally agree with that. While I am a dollar start person, and I firmly believe in how much dollar starts can actually increase your average order value, it's not right for everybody, and definitely not right for when you first start out and you have no basis to draw from. You have no data, no numbers to draw from. I do not think it's right. I do challenge the dollar start, some of the mentality on the dollar start. So let me just set the stage very clearly. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Dollar starts are not necessary for everybody. They are not a solution for every single business. You have to be comfortable with it. You need to understand your numbers and understand why you're doing dollar starts and be prepared for it. So having said that, if you choose to do them for the whole show, for just a couple of different items, for maybe when you get rated, when you do it, understanding the psychology behind it and how it shows it helps to, one, encourage bidding. How many times has somebody started something for $10? Because maybe you had an item that was worth $10 to $15. You started it for $10. Nobody bid. And then you started it for $1, $2, or $3, and all of a sudden it got bid up to 10 or more. How many times has somebody had that happen to them? I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. I have heard this. Yeah, well, Sandus, I've seen it. Yeah. There's quite a few times. There is a very powerful psychological impact at starting low and starting all at one price. And even if you're a higher price starter, starting all at one price. But the low bids, the low starts, they work, you guys. They really do. I just had my Bougie for a Buck show that was proof that dollar starts work. Now, at the beginning, when I started dollar starts, I lost money for 2 months. I'm not going to lie. It was difficult. I am not saying dollar starts are going to work your absolute first show. And the reason I think they don't work the first show is people don't realize that you're doing it again and again. So they may bid, you're going to get some bids. Oh, look at that. Times of Teaking. Dollar item last Sunday sold for $83. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
People are here to get a deal and not pay 3/4 of the full price. Exactly. People are not on what not to pay eBay prices. Does that mean that you can't get eBay prices? You can. But the whole concept of auctions is a lower start, is a chance to get something for underneath the value that you can get at like a retail establishment or some other type of place. I had someone ask me to discount during a show, and then it got bid up past what I was asking. See, that's wonderful. Now, if somebody asked me to discount during the show, I'm probably not going to do it because it's not their place to tell me how to price. So Wildflower says, often goes to my original hope for price, but sometimes only $1. Numbers are important to see your average. Yes, your average sales price. Would you suggest having a few dollar starts for your first show? If you have sourced those items in a way that it's not going to hurt you a whole lot, absolutely 100%. Dollar starts will help people come to your show, but you got to do them continually. For your very first show, I absolutely would not suggest having a full show of dollar starts. Maybe do them as a special occasion, every fifth sale. Every time somebody raids you, use the dollar starts as an incentive, as a tool to encourage more. It's no different than saying, I'm going to do a buyer's giveaway that's supposed to encourage people to buy, right? So I would use them in the first few shows as a way, one, to condition myself to get used to it, and then two, as like kind of a reward. Hey, everybody, every 10th sale, every 5th sale, if we get 30 people in the room, I'll do a dollar start, whatever it may be. I would use them like that at the very beginning, but not do a whole show of them. That if I went back and started again, that's how I would do it. Felt like you had shown it a bunch of times, so you felt okay. Let's see, but when you go into a person's auction, they don't start at $1. They start at the highest and go down until someone bids. Rarely a dollar start. Am I coming in at the end of a conversation here? A lot of times people will start to go down, and to me, that's emotional discounting, and that's going to hurt you more than just starting at low to begin with. So you guys, think of the perception of this. I know people come and go in shows. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm going to go back and read comments that I'm missing. I know people coming back in shows. But if you run an item for $10, nobody bids, you run it again for, you're like, okay, let's drop the price to $7. Nobody bids. And then finally you're like, okay, let's start it at $1. They've already had in their mind, this item ain't worth anything, right? They've seen it fail twice. So it's kind of like you're giving them over and over this, nobody wants this, nobody wants this, nobody wants this type of a thing. That's emotional discounting. That's, to me, it's out of desperation. And does not look good. Now, when you can go down in price is using a reverse auction. When it is a planned full thing reversed auction, you're starting very high and you're slowly going down to a floor price that saves you too, a floor price that's you're comfortable with. But if you're continually just discounting items through a show, and I talk from experience, I used to do this. Why do we do it? Nobody bids, you get nervous and you're like, oh, maybe my prices are too high. I'll just slash prices. I'll give them a deal and then they'll bid. No, stop, do your show. Take a deep breath, rethink it, and come back fresh at a different time with a new pricing strategy. It'll work better for you than emotionally discounting.
You can use dollar starts as a very strategic way to move your inventory or to entice your buyers to start buying or even fill a box. You need to read the room. You need to see what the audience is doing in order for you to be able to take the most advantage of that. If you see that some of the purchases are happening, one thing you can do is, hey, surprise, the next item is going for $1 and see what happens.
Yep. I've used dollar starts before I was a dollar start solely seller. I've used dollar starts and done it with trivia games. You guys get the right answer, we're going to run the next item at $1. I've even done it where I've put stuff in my bin, things that I controlled. You can control what's in your auction tab. And I've said, okay, whoever gets the trivia question right gets to pick what item we're going to run at $1. That gets a lot of engagement. The audience feels very involved in your show. They stay longer, they bid higher, they're more active. So you can use dollar starts as a tool versus using it as a pricing strategy across the board. Loco says, even as a buyer only on this app, I know for sure that they've bid on things starting at $1, but would not have bid if they would have been started at the $10, $15, whatever dollar price. Because they work, because that's what dollar starts do for people. Let's see. I just recently started an occasional dollar start for a few raid trains I'm on. Great.
Barnes Timeless Treasures. That's a good point. The more people you have, the better you're probably going to get in terms of people interested in one item. But at the same time, the only thing that you need for someone to start being interested is 2 people. For a bidding war, you just need 2 people interested in the same item. So how many people do you need in your room? And that's the reason why I say, read your room.
$5, Lori, $5 is a great price too. And you've got to think about the items you're selling. You've got to think about your cost of goods. What is your risk tolerance level for dollar starts? I want to also talk about that having people in your room. Think about it like this, and I heard Daisy Lane explaining this the other day, and it's a concept that I've heard multiple times. She explained it really well. What comes first? The people in your room or dollar starts? A lot of times you will hear that. You will hear, oh, well, I don't have enough people. I'm not a big seller. But dollar starts brings more people to your room. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg concept, right? Dollar starts brings more people to your room. So think about, let's take it outside of Whatnot. What if a pizza shop, your favorite pizza shop, or a pizza shop that was really, really great, just opened in your neighborhood. You go in to buy a pizza and the pizzas are $50 a piece. And you're like, whoa, buddy, that's really expensive for a pizza. And the guy working there says, I know. We're starting all of our pizzas at $50 now, but once we start to get a customer base, we'll drop the prices then. That's a little counterintuitive, right? That we're going to start really high prices at a retail shop, but then once people figure out who we are, we'll drop our prices. People aren't going to, they're going to come once or twice at $50 and they're going to be like, I ain't buying your pizza again. It doesn't make sense. But yet, that's the mentality people have here on Whatnot about dollar starts. I'm going to start at $10, $15. Once I get 100 people in my room, then I'll drop the price. It's the same thing, right? Am I the only one who thinks like that it just doesn't make sense? Rawson says, people may be on the fence about the price of an item, but may pay more to keep from missing out on a good deal that someone else might get instead. Exactly. And the same thing that comes into that are coupons. Say this is the exact same reason people are afraid of losing money, that they don't want to use coupons. But a lot of times your coupons will get your items bid up. So the $5 that somebody used on a coupon, that item is still selling for around the same price it would have sold had you not offered a coupon, because the person with the coupon is willing to pay a little bit more. So you don't lose a lot. Let me take a look here. I'm missing a comment here. Let me go all the way back up. All right. My husband's telling me I'm missing a comment, but I do not see which one it is. Let's see. Repurpose Relic says 2.5 years on here, and I always get burned when doing an item at $1 start. I pay way more than $1 for my items to take that chance. And I get that. I'm not arguing with that. I won't start items at $1. Besides my bougie for $1, I normally do not start items for $1 that I pay too much for. I have a dollar amount in my head when I'm sourcing that, that's one of my things is when I look at the price, I ask myself, can I start this at $1 and feel okay with that? Do I feel starting this item at $1 is going to exceed the price I'm paying enough for me to get a profit margin out of it? So I could totally get the fact that if you're paying too much. However, it's going to be very, very difficult ever to buy inventory where you're going to make a profit starting at $1. It's either free or inventory that you're getting for pennies. So that's very hard to come by. So you have to be able to figure out what is that dollar limit that you're comfortable with. What is that level of risk that you're comfortable with? And that could be none. For some people, that could be like, nope, it's just not a risk I'm going to take. And that's okay. It's okay if that's a decision that you make, that's not a risk I'm going to take of starting for $1. But understanding why it works, how it works, will then allow you to combat that for the people who are not doing it at $1. So if I, as a seller, understand why dollar starts are so popular, what it is that draws people to them, why more people go in the rooms for those, why more people bid on those items, if I understand that draw, now I can say, okay, this is what my buyers are thinking when they're in a dollar start room. I'm not a dollar start room. So how do I mitigate the people that are? Okay, because we all know there's going to be somebody else here on the app that's selling the exact same products that you are for a dollar start somewhere. So now you can start thinking about, okay, I need to explain my value more. I need to create a little bit different of an experience, maybe more of a higher end experience. Maybe I need to take more time explaining it. Maybe I need to do more bundling to show that value. So you understanding it helps you then to go to the other side if that's not what your dollar start's not your thing. I see, thank you. I just had a show and offered $3 starts, haven't made it. Well, yeah, and that's good. We've got to do where you're comfortable with. But I think understanding it is the biggest point here and why it happens. So often I see those dollar start. I see. Thank you very much. My husband's driving me insane. He keeps going like this. That he's like, you got to comment. You got to comment. I'm like, I got it. I see it. I'm about to answer it. But he doesn't let me finish one thought before I'm gonna fire him. I'm gonna fire him. I love him, but I'm gonna fire him. So I just had a dollar didn't, and see, now I've totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I know where I was going. A lot of times you see floating around, cut his pay, absolutely. You see floating around on the Facebook or whatever, the charts that say, oh, if you make $1, you only get 30 cents or 40 cents or 50 cents, whatever it is. And if you make $2, you get this. People get so focused on every single thing selling for $1 that they talk people out of it because they're like, oh, if you sell for $1, you're only going to get 50 cents. True. If it sells for $1, that is true. They're not lying. But what are the odds of every single thing selling for $1? Like, you can't just get caught up on that one item. Look, you're going to lose money on some items. My Bougie for a Buck show I had on Saturday, I lost money on some of my items, but I made more than enough on the other items to absorb the loss and still be profitable at the end of the day. All right, we did a lot of dollar starts. What else are we going to talk about? Let's do this. Let's go run the pre-bids and then we'll start on another topic. I got a few things here that I want to talk about. I do want to read Repurpose Relic's comment first. This is your full-time job due to health reasons and not in a position to lose a lot of money. Yep, I totally get that. Understandable. 19 years, chat's moving fast. 19 years in business, finance, and accounting tells me it's a no. And that's okay. That's cool. If it's not for you, that's cool. One of the things, yeah, you've got to look at the average, Liz, totally. And Liz has been doing dollar starts, so she's been like, hey, I've been doing this. I know what it's all about. You've got to do, I just totally lost today's awful, you guys. I think I need like 4 more cups of coffee. Robbie's Unique Treasures, you got that giveaway. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I totally get if people think, hey, that's not for me. One of the things you have to understand, though, not you as whoever who said that comment, but in general, if you're starting 10, 15, 20 or higher, you may not get bidding wars. That is probably the price it will sell for in a lot of circumstances, which is fine. If you're starting it at 10, you're like, that's my lowest cost I can accept. I'm good if it sells for 10, then it should work for you. But understanding the higher you go in price, the less bidding you're going to get, the smaller of an audience that's going to be interested and or able, as far as budget-wise, to even bid on that item. So that's kind of, just keep that in mind. All right, let's run over and do these. I'm sorry, what was that, my love? All right. And we're actually talking about the dollar starts. It leads me to the first thing, my first point here. So we're going to come right back to this first point that I have, some stuff I wrote down, something I heard. I've heard 5 different things in the last couple of days. I said 5 things this week. It's only Wednesday, y'all, so it's only been in the last couple of days that I wanted to talk about with you. And we'll talk about the pros and the cons of those things. But let's go ahead and run these items really quick while they're fresh there. We have a few pre-bids going on here. The first one is our Thunky Creamer. You guys, if you have not, wasn't there a PDF workbook available in the shop? There should be, Maya. Can you look in our shop and make sure? I think I did put it in there. All right. My husband's going to check on that. I'm pretty sure it's there.
And she's going to fire me.
Let me look. I'll look in the shop because he's ignoring me over there. They are in the shop somewhere.
Yeah, they are. Want to buy it now.
They're in the buy it now, and type in live, L-I-V-E, and you'll be able to find them. Okay, we're going to run this. Thunky is a word that I came up with by accident. I'm sure somebody else has used it before me. But Thunky means it's thick and it's chunky, and it came out in one show where I got my words all mixed up. So we go with Thunky now. This is a nice Thunky creamer that we're about to run. I thought it was Feldscraft, but I do not see a Feldscraft mark, so I'm not going to claim that.
I'm telling you, Sans LS. That's the way of my life.
Thick and chunky, that's right. So we have a Thunky creamer here. No chips or cracks. It is beautiful. No marks on the bottom, so it doesn't say Feldscraft, so I was kind of surprised when I flipped it over. But it is pretty. And it is going to run right now. We do 10 seconds with a 3-second restart. And it's running right now. Lysandra of I Love Discounts got on me the other day and says she does not like 3-second restarts, that it does not give people enough time. So we're going to go with it, though. I like 3 seconds. Thank you for your bids. Oh, Monster Mama, congratulations. That is going to you.
Thank
And
you.
then the next one is probably my favorite. I always have a favorite item. Do you guys do that too, sellers? Do you have like that one thing in every show that's kind of like your secret favorite? This is mine today. I thought this was so pretty. This is a piece of slide glass, and it just has the prettiest like peachy, marbly look going through it. And then it has the flowers on there, and you can feel them. They're not applied, but you can feel it, the flowers on there. I thought it was just so beautiful. Little vase. Because it is glass, you can use it for toothbrushes or something that has to do with water if you want. And that is running right now. I know, it's so unique, isn't it? Like all of the slide glass, because the marbling look of it, you're never going to have two that are exactly the same. And Shalom, thank you so much. Tracy doesn't keep secrets. No, I don't keep secrets very well.
Thank you.
I don't. Well, I mean, like among people I could, but I'm terrible. Don't tell. Well, tell me your secrets, because I want all the tea. I don't want to be involved in the tea, but I want to know all the tea.
Shh. Don't tell anybody, Millicent. It's a secret.
Acro Algate is always pretty. Is that the type that this was? Was Acro? I didn't know if that was that. I don't know a lot about. It is nice. I did see the seller guides, but not the workbook. I see, my love. My God, he is driving me insane this morning. Is there a hooked on Finex guide to get started and learn pre-bid auction rates? Sandus, no, but any question you have, just ask one of us. We'll throw it in there. We'll tell you what it means. There is a whole terminology. There's a whole verbiage with whatnot, isn't there? I saw the code new to us could be applied for a discount. Where do you do this? So we have a couple of codes in the bin, right? Or not in the bin, in the show notes right now. Mom and Dad are always fighting. If you are new to me, never bought from me before, you can copy that code and click down here on your wallet, and then you can enter it in your wallet. It will apply to the next purchase. Also, if you're on YouTube and you want to come over here, good morning, Sassy. You want to come over here? There's a code. If you have never shopped on Whatnot before, never, ever, ever shopped on Whatnot, there's a code for you too. And for those of you who have shopped with me, there's some rewards cards in there.
What Liz likes. I'm not fighting. I'm just pushing buttons.
Oh yeah, pushing my buttons. All right, we have a copper picture. We're going to run through all the pre-bids, and then we'll get back to chatting. I do got a topic that I think is interesting. So this one is a copper picture. It has is it patina or is it tarnish? What's the proper word for copper? I don't know what it is, but there's a little bit you can see on there.
If you want the workbook, I'm going to look and see if I can put it in there.
That's probably just dust. Free glitter there. And it's going right now. I don't know if I put measurements, probably not. It's good size, 7.5 inches tall. Shalom, thank you. Very cottagecore, it is. And then I had this bowl yesterday. I got to be on Shalom Y'all's and Grammy G's Ray Train yesterday. And I had this bowl that I was going to run, and then we never got to it because I just didn't go fast enough and I ran out of time. Thank you for your purchase from the bin. I appreciate it. So we have a pink glass bowl. I do not... Yes, my love.
What is the workbook that you're looking for? The Ledger to Leadership or the quarter 1 and 2?
So yeah, so the workbooks, the difference in the workbooks, we have the accounting workbook, which is Ledger to Leadership. That's the one that teaches you how to do accounting. Then we have quarter 1 and 2. If you buy quarter 2, you just get quarter 1 with it since it's already passed. Those are our live seller collections. Those are the workbooks that go with our Friday chats. So let us know which one and we'll make sure it's there for you. All right. So we have quarter 1 and 2. Pink, I will put it down. Give me a second. He's like, I want to do it from this camera. We have a pink glass bowl. I do not think this is depression glass. It just doesn't give me that vibe. It just doesn't. I'm guessing that it's not, but it's still gorgeous. It has that really pretty wavy look and 3 feet to it. Nice big size. It'd make a great fruit bowl. 10 inches in diameter. And that is going to run right now. Well, Shalom, thank you for inviting me. I will always support your cause there. Shalom, y'all, and Grammy G. This is a Surge to 1K raid train. And the person right after me, Lori Y, thank you so much. That's going to you. The person right after me was JSO Vintage.
Thank you.
And she was 104 away from her 1,000 when we raided into her. It wasn't because of me. It was because of everybody there. But that's just who I got the opportunity to raid into. And we raided into her, and everybody in the room pitched in and got her to her 1,000 within 45 minutes. It's one of those moments you see on Whatnot that's just really fun to be a part of and to be able to witness and get to hang out in the room and see that happen. And she was super happy, which all of you have ever hit 1,000, you know that feeling that it brings you. So, all right, we're going to do this guy. So he does have somewhat of a call out, which I put on there. He is adorable. This is a tape dispenser.
If you search for the word work on the Buy It Now, you should be able to see those two items available.
Thank you. I was in 2 shows and they made 1K. See, I didn't get to watch all of it. I was like in and out throughout the day because I had the 9 to 5 thing I had to do. But yeah, it was a good raid train, and it's a really good thing that they're doing. All right. You're going to turn it this way so we can see how cute this little guy is here.
No, I'm unemployed now.
Oh, you're on strike. So we have a turtle tape dispenser. 3 people made 1K. That is awesome. Look at that face. He is so cute.
Thank you, Scuba. I'll be there as soon as she's done here.
Scuba, you're a traitor. So the call out for this guy, it is a tape dispenser. I don't have the little thingy. You have to you can get a dowel rod, make it in there for your tape. But there is no cutter. There's no cutter on there. But I just think it is so cute. I would put air plants. I wouldn't even use it as a tape dispenser. And it's running right now. Adorable if you like turtles.
So if you're looking for me, I'll be working with Scuba Stevio and Dragonfly Neem from now on.
And let's take a quick break here because we'll come right back to the rest of these pre-bids, but I do got to talk about
Thank
something.
you.
I don't have any flamingos today. Sorry, but if I do, I'll let you know if I ever come across them. Before I went to Orlando, I started doing in this show, I was going to call out a seller. I was going to just highlight somebody once every show just to be like, hey, you guys, this is a good person. Trying to do my part in the community, right? And then I went to Orlando, and the travel and all of that kind of derailed me a little bit from that, but we are back at it today. And today is Dragonfly Neem. That is who our seller of the day is. Do you have it ready to pull up really quick? I didn't give him any warning. I'm just putting him on the spot. Like, pull that up, do it.
Ronson, thank you so much for the offer.
Y'all, you're stealing him from me. But you get the good with the bad. Just be careful what you ask for.
I'll work for tacos, Ronson.
So Dragonfly Neem sells jewelry and vintage decor, and she does this really, really cool show called Vintage Through the Centuries. I think I may be a little off on the name, but basically she goes over a whole period of time, and we'll have items from each century, and it's like mixed vintage. So you may get some buttons and ephemera, or you may get some really, really cool glass items, maybe some pottery, just all kinds of different things. So there she is. This is our seller of the day right here. Next is coming a Century of Christmas, y'all, tomorrow. She just did a Christmas the other day. That was really cool. Through the Century. There we go. So that is our seller of the day. And there she is right there. Through the Century, flying through the century. You can click on her name and give her a follow. That is our person of the day. And Southern Charm, last time when Dragonfly was having her show, she was doing Christmas, and I know Southern Charm was a big fan. So I'm like, hey girl, go get in there and check this out. And she found some cool stuff. So, okay. We're going to go back to finishing our selling up here. And then we're going to talk some more. We have this kissing couple, and they're in really good shape. They are ceramic, and they're painted really nice with very, very little paint wear on them. And of course, you got the boy and the girl. I'm going to be on a Pennsylvania raid train, and I almost saved these because they remind me of Pennsylvania. Not totally sure why. Maybe it's because of the Amish for some reason, even though I don't see the Amish kissing. So I don't know. It just reminds me of Pennsylvania, but they're adorable, and we're going to run them right now. And they are going. Thank you for your bid.
And they look Dutch.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's that Dutch thing. Yeah, it has to be the Dutch influence. Shalom. Thank you. Thank you. So I am going to be on a Pennsylvania rain train. And I have no idea what I'm going to sell. Obviously, Pennsylvania stuff. But I do need to focus a little bit and make sure that I have some good things for that one. If you've noticed, I am starting to branch out to bigger items in these shows. So we are kind of upping the scale on these shows, Mondays and Wednesdays when I say these. And this is one of the first bigger type items. This is so beautiful, you guys. A lot of people will just pass up cut glass because they're like, oh, it's clear glass. I want something that's pretty and red and green or blue or whatever it is. Cut glass, though, so versatile. I've been watching some like Instagram stuff where people are using the crystal and the clear cut glass in so many ways throughout their whole house that I'm inspired. Like is it coming back? I would love for it to come back because I think it's beautiful. So we're going to do this bowl. Just look how gorgeous that is. We have sawtooth top and just the most beautiful pattern. It is a good size too. It is 7.5 inches in diameter. And that's running right now. I was wondering, I didn't even try to see who made it, but it kind of is reminiscent of an Ellie Smith, isn't it? I just saw it. I'm like, this is beautiful. It's going on my show. Dragonfly, you have everything. Yes, it does. It goes with everything. Robbie's Unique Treasures. Congratulations. That's just it, you guys. You can take your clear glass and put the colored, you can change out the color of stuff that you're putting in it, no matter what, whether it be flowers or marbles or whatever it is. And you can have it for every single season, every single holiday, mix and match. So that's that. We have one more chunky creamer. This one, I'm calling it a creamer, even though it's shaped like a gravy boat, because y'all, that's not enough gravy. There's just no way that that's enough for gravy. Oh, they do look beautiful with the sun coming in, and then, oh yeah, that would look so nice.
Rah Rescue Relics, can you check your DM for me, please?
All right, so we have this guy here. Kind of a thunky one, not quite as thunky as the other one. We have a Maker's Mark. Of course, I can't read it. Maybe you guys can, if you're interested in Maker's Marks, you can zoom in and see that. It is in really great shape. I'm going with creamer here. And that's running right now. And if you are a creamer person, if you guys collect them, know somebody who collects them, likes funky ones, I have a crazy creamer show coming up next month. I'm going to have about 40 upcycled yours. Congratulations. I'm going to have about 40 to 50 funky, crazy creamers. A monster, mama. Thank you so much. Millicent says, when she registered for your wedding, your colors were white and clear. Oh, did it make your mother crazy? But I bet you that was so elegant. Like I can just see how gorgeous that would be. So if you like crazy creamers, come see me. Check out that show next month. When I say crazy, it's not just a normal shape. I'm talking like animals and fruits and all the ones that just aren't your normal everyday creamers. I've been collecting them now for about 2 months, and I'm this far away from being totally ready for that show. So yeah, I clear for a wedding. I would like totally be down for that. I love anything that like makes you feel very elegant. I want that royal, like you're walking into a palace. That's the type of look. I want that type of feel where it's just, and this probably comes from, I grew up dirt poor. I grew up like in what you would call the projects. So very, very poor. And again, I didn't go to college till I was 30. So I struggled for a good portion of my life. So to me, now I'm at a point in my life where I want all of those finer things, but I don't want to pay the finer price. I'll get them at Goodwill. I want all the finer things in life that I always thought was like, you had to be so rich to have that, right? When I was a kid, I would just think, oh, you had to have so much money to have that. Those are the things I want. So I just don't want to like pay those prices. So you too, yeah, that's kind of the goal. I'm really big into late 1800s sketches, like art, and I have a whole wall of like sketches. That's kind of my one of my favorite things to buy, because I used to think only super rich people could afford antiques. No, it's not cheap. It's being smart and thrifty. How do you keep items in the buy now? How do I keep them in there for each show? So the way I do it for my shows is I have certain items that I put in certain shows. Sometimes I mix and match, but I have certain items. So I will just clone. So if this show's on Wednesday, I will clone it, use the clone feature for my Monday show. And then when I put the item in originally, I assign it to the type of show I want that item associated with. Bougie taste with the soda budget. That's it. So Liz, you're the same way, but with food. I overfeed everyone because my mom heavily yeah, isn't it like so much stems from our childhood? It's no wonder, like in therapies, they're always like, tell me about your childhood, because I really do believe there's a lot that stems from it. Yes, clone. That, to me, that's the easiest way. The other way is after your show, if it's only assigned to one show, it will show up in your inactive tab in your inventory, and you can like click all of them on the left-hand side and then do assign to show and put them in a show that way too. When you reach 1,000 sales on local pickup, do you have to continue to get the code from the customer? Yes, that code thing never goes away. That's just part of local pickup. It has nothing to do with 1,000 sales.
What Liz likes, there's no better way of learning a place than through food.
Now, okay, I Love Discounts explain. So I think I don't do local pickup, so I'm going to rely on you guys out there who does local pickup. I have not experienced, well, I have, but it's only when I Love Discounts comes to visit me or Southern Charm and we know they're coming to get it. So if anybody can explain the codes with I Love Discounts, the codes with local pickup, please do.
The code is sent to the buyer, and the buyer has to, when they pick it up, they have to give it to the seller so the sale counts as completed.
But release, okay, after you generate the pickup slip. Okay, so it's still there, but they auto release after you generate the slip. So instead of doing a shipping label, you still print something, and that's what kind of releases it then. All right, there you go. There's your answer in there. There's all these smart people giving you answers because it's just not something that I really have experienced. Very, very rarely on my side. If I don't assign a bin item to a show, but then someone buys it during a show, does the shipping bundle or is it separate? I am going to say that anything, well, that's a good question. I think anything purchased through your show will bundle during that show time. Even if it's in the marketplace and not your bin, because it's being bought during the course of a live event. There we go. A lot of people are backing me up. Yep. Okay. So we're good.
What I've heard is that if you have something purchased up to 2 hours after your show, it'll bundle with the previous show.
Yep. All right. Hello, Burlap Barn. Okay. So let's talk about, and if in a few days show, you can bundle manually. Yeah, so if you're like within a day, if they purchase it, you can always bundle, do it manually under shipping if you want. Yeah, as long as you're not generating, well, even after you can regenerate a label, but I don't know if you can bundle, so correct. I don't know if you can actually bundle after you've generated. Let's talk about this. This is something I heard in a show, and I'm not going to name who said it because it's not really a bad thing. It's just something I disagree with that I have a difference of opinion about. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to back up mine with a little bit of research here. So I have heard somebody saying, never talk about price. Never say what the price is. We don't want to put that thought, that conception, that we don't want to anchor somebody to a price. When I say somebody, anybody in the audience. So as a seller, I should avoid speaking about price under any circumstance as much as possible. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I am just taking the stance of that's not something that I agree with. That's not something that I would do or advice I would give. And why? So I'm curious to hear if you guys agree with this or not. When I first heard it, you know, you instantly have some type of reaction when you hear something. Either you're like, oh, that's really cool, I like that, I agree with you, or you're like, oh, I'm not sure. Like the start email or what the value, either, any of it, Moni, any of it. So you don't want to say, oh, we're going to start this for $5, or, I advise at the beginning of the show, you do an opening and you set the stage. You lay it out for buyers. Hey, my name's Tracy, Zoe's Treasures, blah, blah, blah. We're doing everything starting at $1 today with $4.50 shipping. The advice was never to do that. Like, they would just take off that whole last piece and they would just be, hi, I'm Tracy from Zoe's Treasures. Welcome in. Today we're selling X, Y, or Z, and leave it. The point of view that was given is that it anchors in the mind, particularly if you're doing low starts, it anchors a low start price in somebody's mind, which then transfers to the value. I disagree with that. Thank you, Millicent. Interesting, but saying the starting bid out loud can bring people back to the screen. Liz, yep, that's a great, I didn't think about that point, but that is definitely something, I love that thought. I don't agree with it because I feel it's car salesman. I'm just going to put it out there. That's how I feel. I feel that it's like when you go to buy a car and then they got to go in the back room, then let's talk about the price. And they come and give you a piece of paper and you're like, no, I'm not paying that much. And then they go back here and talk about the price again. That's how that makes me feel. So I thought, okay, well, that's how you feel, Tracy. Let's do some research. Let's see what it's worth. Yeah. Let's see what kind of the thoughts are in the general populace out there on the big, great internet, right? I don't agree. I talk about starting bids and sometimes value if I'm talking about items. It helps folks understand or know the value they're getting. Exactly. Particularly if it's a very rare, unique item that a lot of people aren't familiar with, you may need to explain the value a little bit more. I've said to even Google an item to see what it's worth. I've done that too. On my Bougie for a Buck, I told people, I'm like, look, it's sitting there. You guys know it. Feel free to check these out before you bid. So I went and did some research. There is this top, I came up with looking at multiple websites. I started, Daughter's the first one I looked at, but then I looked at multiple different websites through a Google search to reinforce kind of what are the top things that buyers look at online. So e-commerce, when buyers are buying online. So this wasn't particularly for auctions. This was buying online in general, but I think it still represents auctions to a good degree. And I came up with but I found the commonality among these 5 things that buyers are looking for. The top 5 questions they ask themselves. You asked about advice earlier. Switch up, bin items off it, keep it fresh. I was driving. Absolutely, Lori. So Lori's answering. When I first started the show, I asked everybody, what is the best advice you have ever heard on whatnot? And the best advice, we got a bunch of great answers, but Lori's giving another one. Keep your items as fresh as possible, even if that means taking them out of your bin for 3 or 4 months and then putting them back. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the inventory sitting if it's good inventory that you know can sell, or even every other month or every other week. So rotating your inventory is a really good item. Good advice.
Oh, Lori. I really love those coffee mugs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and there you go. You rotate inventory in the flea market. It's a common practice in retail. Why wouldn't it be a practice here? A lot of people want to say that what we're doing here is so different than retail. It's not the same. Well, no, it's not a brick and mortar, but a lot of the base business principles that have worked for hundreds of years still apply in e-commerce. Just because it's e-commerce doesn't mean there's a whole new set of rules that we go by. A lot of the business advice, the best practices, the wisdom that's out there can be applied. Now, do we need to tweak it some because of our delivery is a little bit different? Absolutely. But that's like a lot of my Friday stuff that I talk about. A lot of that knowledge, a lot of that stuff comes from the brick and mortar store. Sales is sales, yep. Okay, so the top 5 things, that's good. The top 5 things people look for. Reviews. They want to know, are you trustworthy? They want to know, are you going to uphold your word? Are you selling what you say you're selling? Is it as good as you say it is? Are you going to ship the way you say you're going to ship? They want the reviews. They want the proof that they can trust you. Because different from e-commerce, when you go to a brick and mortar, you have a inherent trust because they've invested the money, the time to have this brick and mortar. That kind of gives you the sense of security. Well, here, you need to create that sense of security. So people look for reviews, right? And they're looking what's happening in your chat. How are they vibing with you? That's kind of all into one. So that's kind of one of the first things people may look at. Number 2 on the list, surprise, surprise, price. Who here never considers price in your buying decision? Who here is like, I mean, it may be a rare occurrence. If there's something I really want, I may just be like, drop it in the cart, it's mine. But in general, we always consider price, right? I mean, as a normal practice, price is the first thing you look at. Exactly. So price came up number 2 as a commonality thing across multiple websites that I looked at on what do your buyers want to know before they hit that swipe button, before they hit the buy it now button. Price versus value, yes. So that already right there tells me I don't agree. And then my feeling of not agreeing to me was backed up. Of course, I'm biased because this is my opinion and my thoughts, right? The next thing they look for, convenience. How easy is it to buy? What's the refund policy like? What if I don't like it? How can this be handled? You know where this plays in? Doesn't Whatnot have buyer protection policies if it's misrepresented? Their notes, I love discounts. Yes, I broke down, I wrote notes.
Auntie Billy, yes. It's already multicasting.
We are on YouTube, and if you're watching on YouTube, because I know you guys are out there, I see y'all, I know you're there, come on over here, join in the conversation, use the coupon code, buy yourself something really cool. So convenience. Is there a return policy? What happens if it's not what I want? What happens if it doesn't fit? What happens if there's a crack in it? How easy is it for me to bid? Do I understand the shipping?
Good morning, Gigi's.
Good morning, Gigi's. Am I confused by what's going on? This goes back to what I always talk about, set the stage. And every now and then repeat it. When you get a raid in your room, say who you are and what you're doing. What are you selling, what the pricing structure is, how the shipping works. Or put it in your show notes, refer people to your show notes. People want to understand, what does their sale involve, right? The fourth thing, promotions. When buyers are shopping online, and I'm not just talking Whatnot, I'm talking in general, I did this as a general research. They're looking for promotions. So how does that apply to us? Coupons, reduced and or free shipping. So buyers are going to look at, can I trust this person before I even buy from them? Do I feel like I could be okay with this purchase? What's the price? What happens if I don't like it? What's the convenience there for me? And then what are the promotions? Can I reduce that price? How much is it going to cost to ship? Oh, it's reduced shipping, and if I buy 2, I hit the free mark, and then it's free shipping after that. That's going through their heads. But I only have 20 seconds sudden death to decide. Correct. However, a lot of these questions you're answering ahead of time. A lot of these, when you come into a room, these are things that are going through your mind. So particularly with price, this is one of the reasons why I suggest even pricing works better than pricing all over the board. Whatever your even pricing is, let's just say you're going to price everything at $10. Your buyers know everything is $10. So as soon as you pull something out of the box or show that random item, they already know. They're not hit with this surprise of you're showing a $5, $5. Oh, this one's 10. So these are the things you're asking yourself. These all still apply to random pulls. And finally, the fifth one, which I found a little surprising, the product info. So I'm taking this to mean on when I think about it, what does that mean on a Whatnot perspective? The product info. If it's not readily available, such as in a random poll, then they're like, okay, now it's up on the screen. What is the size? Are there any call outs? 20 is, it is. I don't disagree with you, Afro Beauty. So if it's not something that's there quickly, if it's not a pre-listed with their size or call outs or any other pertinent information already there, then they're starting to ask themselves, what's the other details? Does it fit where I want it to fit in my home? Does it fit on me the way I want it to fit? What's the pit to pit? What's, whatever the other questions are. Are there ingredients if it's food that I can't eat? So they're looking for that specific information that's very, very relevant to the use of however they're going to use that product.
But on the flip side, Afro Beauty, there's a giveaway right there. You got about 3 minutes and 50 seconds to decide whether you want to get in or not.
There you go. Shipping, yeah, it's a big one. So this, I started with these 5, if you're just joining, because I heard, we're going over the things I've heard on the Whatnot streets. One of the things I've heard was never, ever, ever disclose price. I am not saying that person's wrong. They have their reasons for believing that, and that's okay. I have mine for not believing it. And so mine, like I just said, I went and did some research to back up. I think price is vital, and it's one of those things that people want to know before they buy. And not disclosing it to me is sketchy. It gives a sketchy feeling. Now, I'm not saying anybody who doesn't do it is sketchy. I'm not calling people sketchy. I'm saying for me, not knowing the price influences me in a bad way. I don't want to hear comps. I totally agree, Southern Charm. I don't want people putting comps in, because I agree. I learned this from Green 13. If somebody puts comps in your chat, that totally relates to the price you're going to get in a good or bad way on your item. That's where salesmanship comes in handy. As a seller, we need to help them see it in their home. Help them smell it, feel it. Exactly, Liz. Because unfortunately, that is the big difference between us and a retail store, is they can't physically hold that and use all of their senses. So they can hear and they can see. And sometimes they can't even hear on Whatnot. I see it, thank you. I'll get Daffodil, I'm not ignoring you, I'm gonna get right to your comment. Sometimes they can't even hear because they have their phones muted and they're just watching, or sometimes they're not seeing, they're just listening while they're doing something else. So our audience doesn't have use of all their 5 senses. So Liz makes a great point. We have to use all of our senses to convey that to our audience. That's why we're holding it, we're picking it up, we're feeling it with our fingers, we're saying how tall it is. So Daffodil, so when running a show, do you think run all items at the same start bid is wise? Absolutely. That's what I recommend. I 100% Daffodil feel that all items at a same price, whatever that price is that you pick, they should all be the same. It is easier, more comforting for your buyers. It's easier for you too. It's a lot less mental load. It's one of the reasons, just one of the reasons I love dollar starts. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to price this stuff. So it's totally not cool for a seller to complain they are not getting, exactly, it's not cool. That's, you control that. You control your starting bids. But one price, 100%. Now the caveat to that, if you're like, look, if you're the seller out there is like, I can't, there's no way, I cannot do all one price. Pre-list. So then at least people can, they don't get that shock of what the price is. I cannot run a rare Blanco the same as a bobbin. I don't have, yeah, and I totally get that. And that's why I do reverse auctions. I feel the exact same way, Reclaim Vintage. And that's why in the majority of my shows are the items that I have a higher risk tolerance for that I will choose to run for $1. And then I have certain items, if I pay $100 for a swung vase, I don't want to run it for $1 sometimes. Now I did a show, but that was kind of like it was an experiment and went well. But as a normal course of business, those go in a reverse auction. Those go in an auction that I can control the format, and then I make that like a special event type thing. That's how it works for me. But I totally understand, and I agree with you, Reclaim Vintage. So, show last night and had different starting prices. Yeah. Just different starting prices if they're not pre-listed, where people can take their time to warm up to them and get used to them. Ladybugs, girl, congratulations. Keep that giveaway. Could be very shocking if you're doing random polls and your prices are all over the board. They don't know what to expect. We want our buyers to do this, right? We want our buyers to come in our room, grab their drink of choice, kick back, put their feet up, and be like, yep, bid, bid, bid. That's what we want, right? Well, if they're like, oh, how much is that one going to be? I really like it, but how much? We're creating anxiety. We're creating barriers to their buying. And we don't want that. We want to make it as easy and smooth as possible for people to buy in our rooms. I don't do flat pricing, but I try to price lower than other platforms. I research value before pricing and then do according to, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, again, I am going to tell you what I think is best and how I do it, but that doesn't mean that that's the right solution for everybody. By no means. I believe there's a million ways to Whatnot, and you need to figure out your strategy for your business and what works for you. Now, there are some psychological things and some commonalities and some foundational business principles that I will explain, and then it's up to you whether, okay, I believe this or I don't believe it. Just like this person that I heard talk about never do pricing. They firmly believe that, and that's what they do in their business, and it must be working for them or else they wouldn't continue to do it. But I disagree, so I'm going to do it differently. I leave a sale when the person calls, everyone chat. Yes. You're very welcome, Daffodils. Reclaim Vintage. I always offered a huge variety of items at different price points. Maybe I need to rethink and curate a show differently. It's up to you, maybe. See, there now, let's look at it from the other, because I want to be fair. I want to look at it from as many points of view as we can. You could find some value in mixed pricing. I'm not totally against mixed pricing. My thing is put it in list it if it's mixed pricing, because I feel it reduces the shock to the buyer when they can scroll and see the pricing. There is some value in offering different price points, because everybody in this room right now, don't answer because this is kind of personal, so you don't have to answer it. But every single one of you has a different budget on how much money you're willing to spend shopping today. Some of you, that budget is zero. Some of you, it may be $500. But every one of us has a different budget on what we're comfortable spending for the day. And so having different price points helps meet a variety of budgets. So there is positive just as much as I feel that there's negatives to it. But I always have coupons, yeah, and max shipping is great. You can always do starting bid tiers. You can do a 1s, a 5s, a 25s. People can pick the tier to run. That's nice. I like that. Or do you like and split up those starting price points into different shows? Yeah, mine are different shows. Did you want to say something, my love?
I'm just going to say that you might have initially a wider audience if your prices are a little bit lower, and a lot more people might be interested in an item if the price is a little lower. And you're going to see how people are going to start bidding, and people who are being bypassing their budget, they're going to start dropping on that bid. I've seen an item starting at $2 going all the way to $65 or even more. Mm-hmm. You can watch Battle of the Best. All things start at $1 and some of them go for $1,000. So,
and this is just so you find what works for you. I watch some of these jewelry sellers. I always forget her name. Millicent, help me out. I know you, Elaine. I always forget her full name. I just know her shows. She starts somewhat low, but all of her stuff goes really, really high. She sells fine, high quality vintage jewelry for high prices, and it works. So she is amazing, isn't she? So it's not, thank you very much, Millicent. I knew you would know that you would be able to put the full name in there. So because I choose to do dollar starts or $5, whatever it is, doesn't mean everybody else needs to. You got to find your mix and your strategy and what works for you.
Elaine, in her prices are not dollar starts. Mm-mm. Some of those items
they're high value items.
High value, but they're very rare.
And she asked the appropriate price for the high value item that she's offering. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think the value here, I think what's most important is not, oh, I need to do this because somebody said, is understanding the different perspectives. This is where you're going to make the best business decision, is understanding why would somebody do $1? Why would somebody do $5? Why would somebody do different prices across the board? Why would somebody do high? Once you understand the concepts and the thinking and the reasoning behind those different ways of doing it, you can then develop your strategy based on knowledge and education, not just Bob told me to do $5 starts, right? So that's what's most important here.
Absolutely what Liz likes. And then if you have those type of prices, the shock comes when you show a really good item and you can say, you know what, let's drop the price on this one. And that makes the audience feel like, oh my God, that's a really good deal. And that's when you start getting a little bit more interaction and a little bit more buy-in from your audience.
And Robbie's Unique Treasures is correct. You're creating your brand, and so you eventually you will become known for whatever that pricing structure is that you develop. And this is part of the thing. Understand this as being new. You may change your pricing structure quite a few times. You may have to figure it out, like go through different experiments till you figure where you fit. I ultimately, it took me, a year and a half to figure out I wanted to be a dollar start seller. And now even that is merged to, I want to do dollar starts on the most high-end items that I can. That's what I'm creating.
Thank you.
It's not going to look the same for all of you. Everybody's going to create something different. Have you seen that you can do penny starts now on what? I love discounts. What? Only on computer and you open to select sellers, right? You can do penny starts? Does Jeremy know that? He's going to flip. Look at Millicent, it's the same thing. Who's going to tell Jeremy? Am I inspiring you to do a $3 start show? Congratulations. I'm happy about that. I'm all the best. I really, really hope that it goes really, really good for you. Understand, you guys, when you first do a lower start show, doing dollar starts 2, 3, 4, even up to like 5, I think it starts to wane out around the 5. Particularly at the beginning, particularly if you are new. I think Liz talked about this the other day. You will get a lot of seasoned people coming in your room to get good deals. You may have a lot go for $1, $2, $3. That may happen. Understand your numbers. Be ready for that. It takes time, usually for the normal person, it takes time to build up to where your items are bidding up higher than $2, $3, $4, $5, $10. And you've got to make sure that the item you are offering is worth the bids that you want to get. You cannot auction a $5 coffee cup and expect the bids to go to 20. So you have to be realistic in your expectations. If I do a whole show of $5 coffee cups and then complain that my bids never got over $6, what else would I expect it to happen, right? So, all right, pressure pack spot. We do not do promotions here. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I talked about it the other day. So
That's very rude from your end, and I'm sure that our audience is not gonna be enticed to follow you that way.
Yeah. Everybody throw some ducks in the chat, please. If you can, I would greatly appreciate it. Our hearts or whatever your emoji is. So we don't do promos, because if I'm going to call out somebody, you know, and you can trust that I believe in that person. Any name that I say out loud here in a way of promotion is because I have invited them to do so, or I want to tell you about them because that's how wonderful I think those people are. All right. So in the beginning, should we expect to lose some money by selling stuff for less than what's bought or worth? It depends, Daffodil. So I would never go into something expecting to be like, okay, I'm going to take a loss. Like, that's not our goal as business, right? Terrible advice. Still, we never want to try to lose money. What I am saying is, when you first go to dollar starts or $2 or $3 starts, there is a good possibility that you will lose money. I lost money at the beginning. I've heard other people say, yeah, I lost a little bit of money at the beginning. It takes time, one, for your buyers to realize that this isn't a one-time deal, that this isn't, I'm only going to do this dollar start show or $2 start show today, that this is a reoccurrent thing. It takes time for you to build that audience. Lower starts will help you build the audience in your room, but it doesn't happen like that. It takes a little bit of time. So understanding that yes, in the beginning, there may be a little bit of a loss. So pick your items according to that. Pick your items appropriately. Do not load it up, your whole show, with a ton of bangers. Maybe have 1 banger, 2 bangers, and have your low, mid-range items until it starts to grow. And maybe each show put another nicer item in there and build that way. It's taken me almost a year to get to the point where I feel I can do a show of fairy lamps, hens on the nest, and swung bases at $1 and not lose my butt. It's taken me a year of dollar starts to get to that point. I am slowly working on higher quality items.
And if you want to see a great show that has a set price starting point and has very interesting items, I saw a Coach purse and Michael Kors purse sold yesterday at a very, very interesting price. You can check Scuba Studio Loaded Table.
They sold a Coach purse yesterday? I didn't see that.
They sold a Coach purse yesterday. And sometimes they have really banger items that are amazing. So If you're interested to check out their strategy, check them out. From clothing, shoes, to purses, to very interesting things.
All right. Upcycle takes money to make money. Correct. I totally believe in it. And I don't believe in throwing money away. But look at it like this. I'm going to take that sentence right there. It takes money to make money. What we're talking about is you spend money on marketing, you spend money on setup, you spend money on things before you even start to make revenue. That's normal, right? Think about dollar starts. A lot of people are too afraid to do, I'm not dollar or low. Let's just say low because I want to accommodate, I want to talk to the majority of people, okay? Take low starts. A lot of people are afraid to do low starts. They're like, I can't start anything at $2 because I pay more than $2 for my items. But yet the same people will go and put $50 on a sponsorship in somebody else's room. And then do it again and again and again. How much money are you spending on giveaways and sponsorships in other people's rooms? Giveaways in your room and sponsorships, or dropping free things in boxes, yet you refuse to do a low start that could benefit a lot of people, build your room, build your audience, and grow you as a business. Just think about that. You are probably already spending that money. You're spending it in the wrong places. Ladybugs, let's see. I thought brand purses. I frequently see brand name purses. I didn't know that. I have spent time watching other sellers who sell similar, same to me, and see how. Exactly, data. That's data research. Going and watching other people. Now, I don't say see a show, completely copy it, and do everything the other seller's doing. But watch people. Go pick out whatever category you're in. Go pick out 2 or 3 of the people you think are successful, the people demonstrating success in the way you would want to be successful. And then what are the commonalities? What's common? When I looked at vintage, when I went and looked at 3 or 4 of the people I felt was demonstrating the qualities of success that I resonated with, they were all doing dollar starts, every single one of them. That was a commonality. So what did that tell me? That could be a strategy that may work for me, right? So use it as market research.
Ladybug, if you're going to take the time to preload an item or a set of items, I think 30 minutes is a disservice to your items. If you're going to take the time to preload at least 1 or 2 days beforehand. That way you can give a little bit of time for the people that they are going to be coming into your show to look at those preloaded items and maybe generate a couple of pre-bids?
No, I think she's saying preload, but then just reserve some time at the end for low starts. I would mix them in. I would mix your low starts in if you're doing it throughout, every few items or something, because you want to keep people kind of engaged. It kind of keeps them waiting for the next one and keeps that activity going. Remember, the algorithm likes activity. Nobody here knows exactly how the algorithm works except for what Whatnot tells us. And Whatnot explicitly states the algorithm loves activity. So the more we get bids, so if you're going to do a few low starts, mix them up in there so you're constantly getting that interest renewed over and over again to create that flow of that activity.
Upcycle yours, that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
I found a lady that was near me and went over and watched behind. What a perfect way. And thankfully, whoever that is, hands down, kudos to that person for being open enough to let you come and watch and to learn. That's how we should be. That's how we should be treating each other as a community. On One Cage Surge yesterday, I started running $3 starts, but had shop loaded with full price items. Most of the show resulted in shop request. Oh, well, that's great.
Good morning, Tia. Good morning, Coastal.
I would love to do dollar starts, but hardly have ever people in a room, so I lose out. So, Magnolia, this goes back to what I said earlier. What comes first, the people or the dollar starts? Don't do a full dollar start show. Just pick a few items. Our low starts, and even if you don't want to do dollars, do $2 or something. Don't do the full show. Do a couple. People have to get used to it. Lower starts will start to increase your room count. It does. Ask anybody who does dollar starts. Liz, if you're still here, have you seen an increase because of your dollar starts? Almost every single person, 99% of people who do dollar starts will tell you that it has increased their room count.
It takes a little bit of time, Magnolia. But also, I'm going to second what Green 13 Jeremy says. If you're not ready to do that, make it an event and advertise it. Advertise it in your shows before you start on that event. and make sure that people know that on the next show or the show on Friday, you're going to do all the items at $1 start. And that's going to drive a little bit more interest on your audience.
And you know what? People like to help you on your journey. So if you just do like 5 items or a few items, good morning, Tia. Thank you for coming. If you only do a few items, talk to them. Tell your audience during the show, hey, you guys, are you liking these few items I'm doing at $1 starts? This is my goal. I really want to do more. So as I continue to grow, I'm going to continue to do more and more. What does that tell them? That tells them, come back. You're going to keep having a chance at getting a good deal. It's the opportunity to get a good deal that draws the people in. For us as the sellers, we're like, we want that to bid up as high as possible, right? Those two merge together with the $1 starts.
And you can also try social media and drive other audience that might be interested in your items into whatnot. So there's another idea.
So Liz makes a really good point. So, and I can see this, it possibly could not just be $1 starts on its own, but it's doing all the other stuff, because there isn't just one element in a show that's going to make you popular. But she says the $1 starts in itself didn't necessarily increase. She found $3 increased, but her curating things, running faster, that continued activity, remember, activity boosts you in the algorithm, you get higher on the For You pages. So that increased activity brought more people in, which was running it faster. And the $1 definitely moves your inventory. $1 starts pretty much equate in 100% or very close to 100% sell-through rate. That means everything you show should sell for the most part. It is very rare that I have items left over when I do $1 starts. Very rare. 1, 2 items maybe. And what does that tell me? Nobody really wants those items, because if somebody's not going to bid on them for $1, it's probably not going to work. I do try to rerun them again at the end of the show or the next show. But if I run something in 2 shows at $1 that nobody wants, that is pure market research that item sucks and I made a bad buy. Get rid of it. Time to move on. So, community show. Oh, Coastal Peacock. Okay, so I wanted to come back to that. You can do $1.50 starts. Okay, Coastal Peacock, y'all, that's another good person to follow. They do a great talk show. They do Watering the Seeds too. So they do a lot for new sellers, but they're going to show how to do $1.50 starts. I'm very interested. I will be there to watch that. Somebody is talking about mods. Okay, yes, mods are amazing. If you have thoughts on mods, I'm missing that conversation. I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Upcycled. My first show for the nonprofit I volunteer at, a lady started modding for me. I added a gifter. And that's wonderful. Yeah, definitely you guys reward your mods in some way, because they don't have to be there. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart, unless of course you've like hired a professional mod. But the mods are doing it just because they like you, because they want to help, because they're good people.
Oh, Monthly Vintage. That's Coastal Peacock. So
yeah,
I'm not sure either. It will be interesting. So here goes, just in case you're interested. There's their... Okay,
let's go see. So Thursday night show, Coastal Peacock's going to show us all how to do right there, Watering the Seeds tomorrow, 9 p.m. He's going to show us how to do $1.50 starts. I am watching this because I would definitely utilize I don't know if I would change from $1, but I may go down from $1. Okay. Dragonfly says, do $3 starts and buy accordingly. That doesn't mean I buy high value. I do. It's to add more value. Exactly. There you go. Your money comes from the sourcing. I know you guys have all heard that. Your money, you make your money in your sourcing. And this is what I was saying earlier. For my $1 start show, when I source, I have some criteria that goes through my head. Does it fit in a 12 by 12 box? Basically, do I want to ship this item? Can I ship it affordably? Is it within my budget? My budget for that is whether my total spending budget I have for sourcing, and can I, if I were to sell this for $1, if I were to do a $1 start, do I feel that I would get the bids to make a profit based on the price that I'm buying it at? And for me, that usually means I don't spend anywhere more than $15 to $20 depending on the item, sometimes higher. I bought a couple of things in the $30, $40 range the other day that I will start at $1. So it doesn't mean I'm just buying cheap stuff, but if it's a really hot item, if it's something that I know is going to sell, let's take a hen on the nest, okay? Super pop or bee box. Let's just take a bee box. If I were to come across a bee box for $40, that's a little pricey for me as far as a dollar start item, but I know for a fact that a bee box is going to bid up to well over $40. I would easily put the $40 out to get the bee box. Let's take something a little less popular. I can't buy Bakelite for under 10. Yes, correct. But if you even buy a piece of Bakelite for 10 and you start it for $1, there's a good chance because it's Bakelite that it's going to exceed the $10 price. It's going to bid up. So this is, you've got to ask yourself, is there that good chance of it bidding up? Those are like the rules when I source. I think in my head on every single item. Now, is it a hit? Is every single item? Do I make a great decision on every item? No. I buy duds. Not often. You learn as you go. You do a show, you see what the duds were, and then you adjust for the next time you source.
And Dragonfly, but those Bakelite items, you don't start them right away as soon as you start your show. You wait a little bit until the show and the audience warm up a little bit more in order for you to be able to bring them into the screen. And that way people are already thinking, oh, that's a special item. And not necessarily is right off the bat when people are not sure whether they want to buy it or not.
When you run your items, the flow of your show, I talk about show flows a lot, is vital. Your show flow, yeah, but I've started, yes, but I have started with Sterling. We all have different strategies, but whatever your strategy is, your show flow is vital. I'm a big believer in let's do some mid-range, low to mid-range items. Let's warm people up. Let's get them used to swiping. Let's get them feeling good. Let's give them a chance to kick their feet up and relax. Good morning, Swamp Chick.
Hey, good morning, Swamp Chick.
And then we do higher priced, and then we do lower priced. I'm going to let him.
Shock and all. Talking about shock and all, Dragonfly. And I was on Swamp Chick Boutique talk show yesterday. Great job. I loved your show. I think you need to come up with a set schedule and continue doing those.
Think about this, okay? I want you to think about flow and cadence, rhythm, routine, okay? The flow, cadence, rhythm, routine, these are things that are intertwined into everything we do in life. Us as humans look for flow, routine, rhythm. Same goes with your show. When you read a book, what happens when you read a book? It opens, gives you some background, it builds. It has that main plot, and then it kind of wraps up, right? What happens when you watch a movie? Same thing. It opens, main plot, and then it wraps up. What happens when you go to a fine restaurant for dinner? You have appetizers. You have your main course. You have your dessert. You build up. You got that main good juicy steak, and then you end with dessert. Everything has a like a bell curve type rhythm to it. What happens when you work out at the gym? You do some stretching before you get into your main thing, and then you roll out your muscles afterwards. Everything in life has a flow like that. This is comforting to people. Our show should also have a flow.
I don't know, but it's like, I think I'll just go for the dessert. Forget about the rest. Just give me dessert.
Beautiful rainbow with a pot of gold. There you go. You got a bell curve there. I'm new here and have followers, and people come in and out of shows. A lot of shows with no sales. Lots of stuff bookmark. It can. So Magnolia, what do? This is a common business problem, a common thing that we see on Whatnot. So what do? Rewatch your show. Why are there no sales? So this is not for any of us to answer. You have to figure this out. Go rewatch your show. Is everything on point? How are your prices? Are your prices too high? So number one, that would be the first thing I would look at. Are my prices discouraging sales because my prices are too high? That could be it. I don't know. I haven't looked at your stuff. But look at your prices and then watch your show. Are you engaging? Are you involving the audience in what's happening? Is your lighting good? Can they see it? Are you explaining it? Are you running too fast, too slow? So there shows with no sales, there's a reason there's no sales. So you have to go and watch and start picking it apart piece by piece by piece. And you may not know what it is right like that immediately. So you change one thing, do a show, fix something else, do a show. It's a constant process and it never ends. 2.5 years in, we do a debrief after every show And there's always change and growth and movement no matter how many shows you do.
LiveView, Whatnot, what they publish on the website, and from what they say on the summit, no bookmarks will help the algorithm. No bookmarks. And I heard that on a show yesterday, and I was like, what a piece of misinformation that they're spreading out. If they bookmark your shows, that doesn't mean that you're going to go up on the algorithm. Now, you have to understand the algorithm is built differently for each person. What they do is they track the activity that you have on your personal feed in order for them to push certain shows. But the algorithm is activity driven. It's if you're selling more, if you're engaging with the audience, and the audience is engaging and responding to you.
And your metrics. It specifically calls out
And the
your
metrics, correct.
Your account health is what it calls out in the discoverability on help.whatnot.com.
And junking, Tracy tried the
I'll
boost.
tell you why. Okay,
because she said she wanted to do an experiment, and what she found was the data is not there for you to be able to make a good, solid decision whether that's advantageous or not.
And that was my thing at the end of the day. So, Junkin, I didn't do boost. I promoted my shows, and I did a full experiment. I took shows from before, shows where I promoted, and I really dug into the numbers. What I found was, did I get a couple of more sales? Did I get a couple of more people? Yes, absolutely. It brought a few more people in my room. But the information provided from Whatnot was incredibly misleading and not accurate. So there is not enough for me as a very data-driven person. The inaccuracy of the information doesn't support the money I spent, where I cannot justify an ROI, a return on my money. I did not feel that promotions were worth it based on the experiment I ran. You will hear other people say completely opposite of that. Just fair warning.
Same thing with bookmarking items.
Bookmarks don't, not the items. Yeah, it's not about the bookmarked items. Those bookmarking shows. So this is one of the other points we heard on the Whatnot streets. Bookmark me and I'll bookmark you and it'll help in the algorithm. Something along those lines. It does not. Nowhere does Whatnot say that bookmarks help in the algorithm. It doesn't say that. And if you guys want to see what Whatnot says, what helps in the algorithm, straight from Whatnot's mouth, go to help.whatnot.com, search discoverability. That's what they put it under. And it will tell you its activity and account health are the two big things that help with where they place you in the algorithm.
Upstate, anybody's looking for a good deal. Anybody. If you come and find a really good deal, you're going to be happy for that. Now, what a good deal means to different people is totally depending on their idea and their mind. How much are they willing to pay, and whether it's good or not. So that's going to be very subjective.
And I will answer, should you sell on other sites too? We can't really talk a lot. Well, we can't promote people to go to other sites, but I'll give you my opinion on it. But really quick, Livy, what was wrong with the data for me is that it was misleading in the sense that they counted people as being from the promotion who came into my room. Some of those people already knew who I was. They were my existing people. So how could they have been done through the promotion? So the numbers weren't accurate. They counted people who bought. Some of these people already knew me. They couldn't provide, when they said you had this many new people, this many new buyers, they couldn't tell me who those buyers or people were to support their information. As an auditor, and as all of us in chat shows, we should trust but verify. So I took Whatnot's report and I said, okay, I'm trusting this information, and I started digging into it, and I couldn't verify any of it was accurate whatsoever. That was the problem for me.
MMC auctions. I monitored the chat during those shows, and yes, I saw Whatnot claimed to be a lot of people coming in to the promotion, but at the same time, you can't really tell from the data that they provide whether those people are actually been driven from them, or they just happened to stumble on your show and they came in during the promotion. So there's really no information from them as to this is how much we drive the promotion for your show, and these are the people that are actually turn into buyers for your show.
And Whatnot will give you a report with a lot of big numbers that looks really great. Like they will say, you had 4,863 impressions. Impressions means the amount of times your show was put in front of somebody on their screen. Okay, Whatnot, thank you. That number sounds really good. So if I'm not data driven, if I'm not looking beyond that and I'm just a user saying, wow, 4,800 people saw my show. No, that doesn't mean they came in my show. It means Whatnot put it in front of them. Okay, Whatnot, what was the demographic? They can't tell me, were they were they people who are buying cards, people buying clothing? I sell vintage. Were those 4,800 people even people in vintage? And this is where I started to get very, very discouraged with it, because you can look on your phone or you can look on the app, and at any given time you can see how many people are even in your category at a given time. The times I was running my show, there wasn't even 4,800 people in vintage. So I know for a fact that the impressions that Whatnot was reporting did not include just vintage people. So do other people buy vintage? Yeah, they do. But when you can't tell me what those demographics are, I start getting a little suspicious and skeptical of the information you're providing for me. Even any type of advertising, if you buy a billboard or you get a TV commercial, they will tell you the commonalities. They will tell you the demographics that ad is supposed to reach. Whatnot won't even give you that information.
So until that information is a little bit more polished, we suggest, if you like to find out, go ahead and try and see what you come up with. Maybe it'll be a little bit different for you. But in the meantime, in our case, I don't think it's advantageous.
I won't be doing it again. To tell you the truth, I accidentally left it on for one show, and the minute I saw it promoted, I was like, dang it, Tracy, you forgot to take that setting off. So, millicents, is that for me? Do you want me to define some terms? Because I'm happy to. Throw what words in there. I'm happy to define them if that message is for me.
And thank you for answering Millicent's Upcycle Yours. It's in your settings.
Yes. So they will push you out to all of Whatnot, even people who aren't buying in your niche. They could. I don't know, because they can't back their information up. They won't tell you. So I don't know. And that was what was concerning to me. Shipping, should you round up weight when you first initially weigh? Yes, absolutely. So it's as close to the weight it would be. Yes, 100%. Junk in the holler. Absolutely. The weight you put in with your item should be that. If you were going to just ship that item by itself in a box with whatever type of packing you would need to protect it, that's the weight you should put in for each of your items. As if you were shipping it by itself in that box. Take that whole box, set it on the scale, put that weight in.
And Grams Goodies, a lot of people have talked about the sweet spot in terms of the timing, and a lot of people have mentioned that between hour and a half and 2 hours, that's the sweet spot when you see an increase in audience.
They do. This is what I'm a little on the fence about, the sweet spot thing. You're going to hear 2 hours is kind of like the magic mark. I don't want to say I necessarily disagree with it. I don't do that. I run my shows about an hour and a half is pretty much an average for me, is around an hour and a half. Whatnot themselves, they said the sellers that grow the fastest have shows over 5 hours, 4 or 5 days a week. Those are the people that Whatnot, they looked at all their data and said the people who grow the fastest. However, that's not realistic for 90% of the people. I'm pulling a percent. It's not realistic for a lot of the people on this app. Because if you think about it, if you run 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 25 hours of just shows. That doesn't count shipping, prep time, sourcing time, time to sleep, time to eat, time to do anything else in your life. That's a team. That's not just one person. That's not a mom and pop shop there. That is a team of people. Those are full-timers, yes. So what they presented at the summit with that was geared more towards people with a team or multiple people to help them. So for you, pick what works for you. What's more important than the length, I think 30 minutes is too short. I think you should try for at least an hour, but pick a day and time that is the same. Get your anchor show. Your anchor show is more important than worrying about running 2, 3, 4 hours. It's far more, having a show where people know where they can come back and find you, the day, the time, consistently is far more important and will help you grow faster than just focusing on running for 3 or 4 hours. You also think about, what are you selling? If I ran for 4 hours, there is no way that I would be able to ship everything that I would sell within 2 days. I couldn't do it. So you have to consider all of the implications. And then it's not just shipping. I then have to source to replace those items. I can't do that with my lifestyle the way it is right now. So there's more implications than just the hours of running. And so many people will say, get on here and run as long as you can. Okay, but think about everything else that goes into that. And you got to really figure out what's going to work for you and what's not. There are quite a few people on here who make successful whatnot businesses and never run more than 2-hour shows. Are working, yeah, when you're working jobs and doing other things, it's hard. And I get it. I work 9 to 5. I totally understand that, there's 40 to 50 hours a week that are taken up by the job that keeps the roof over my head. So I have to be very conscious on what I'm doing on whatnot. I've never done Max Shipping Show, but I'm trying it. Congratulations, Annette. I think that's awesome. Should I still round up higher or keep it closer to true weight since I'll be paying the extra? Okay, so this is where it comes in different. First of all, I'll answer this question, but in-depth shipping questions, I Love Discounts at 5 p.m. every Monday does a shipping show. She is a great one to go and ask now. So I would absolutely, can you just type in I Love Discounts, please? Bookmark there, 5 o'clock. They call it Ship Happens, which is super cute. And she will answer it. But I will talk about this one now. When you are doing reduced.
I'll do something better.
There you go. Ship Happens right there. When you are doing reduced and or free shipping, so let's say you're doing, I'm going to use me as an example. I do $4.50 shipping. So that means.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Welcome in, Squirrely. Thank you for bringing your friends over here. My name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We're doing a chat and sell. We're doing a little more chatting than we are selling, but it's totally cool, totally fun. Please put in, Squirrely, everything you do, all the stuff. I want all the details. Who you are, what you sell, when you sell it, all the stuff, so people who don't know you can get a good feel and then follow you if they like what they see.
Oh, check this out, Magnolia.
All right, I don't know what he's about to do here.
Oh, it's going to take me a minute.
Okay, so I'm going to answer. When I do $4.50 shipping, which is my standard for my shows, when somebody swipes, I do a weight of 8 to 11 ounces on everything, unless it's obviously an item that weighs less, and then I go down in weight. Why do I do 8 to 11 for $4.50 shipping? Because the minute somebody swipes, it's going to instantly charge them like $4.50, $4.30, somewhere in there. They're pretty much going to eat up that $4.50 with one swipe. Okay, so then they're going to see free shipping. After that, everything is free. They are charged immediately. Then next time they swipe, and that item hits, it's another 8 to 11 item, 8 to 11 ounces. That means it goes over a pound on their second item. I'm charged the other $4 and whatever cents up to $9.21. Because I have it on flat rate and flat rate in my shipping settings, I will not be charged anymore during the show. That same person can buy 10 more things and neither one of us are going to be charged immediately in the show. Then after the show, I pack their 10 items, and for those 10 items, they paid $4.50. I paid the rest up to $9.21 already. I pack all 10 items in the box. I see that it weighs more than 5 pounds, whatever it is. At that point, if it was 11, we would be at 22 ounces. I see it weighs more than 22 ounces. I change the weight and the dimensions on my shipping screen. And at that point, it says, Whatnot says, you have an adjustment of this much. It's either going to be one of my free ones or I'm going to pay the difference. So I do it when I do reduced shipping in order to control what is charged up front so that on the back end, I can then pay the difference to the exact amount. Hopefully that makes sense. Max shipping, I can't pay shipping for heavy vintage, but supposedly people won't even come in my show if I don't offer this. That's not true. That's not true at all. When anybody, no matter who you are, when you are offering reduced shipping and or free, I've done free. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot right now because most people do reduced. You need to be conscious and strategically mix your inventory on what you're selling. You get to pick what you're selling. So don't have a full show of big items. Have one big item or two big items, understanding that you're going to pay the difference on that item. You don't have to do a full show of big ironstone pitchers, okay? You create that product mix that you are bringing to the show. So you have to be strategic about that mix. When I do my shows at $4.50 shipping, I am very conscious that the minute it hits a pound, I'm paying that other amount, and that if somebody were to buy all those different items, so I'm going to do a good mix of sizes, knowing, with a good estimate on what I'm going to pay for shipping.
How'd you like that, Magnolia? And like she said, I'm going to be fired. So husband is going to have a lot of free time. Anybody hiring?
No. I fire him and then I rehire him as soon as the show's over. So I'm really nice to him. There are times when my adjustments say it won't be covered by my change. Yes. And I think it's because of my box size. Yes. Swamp Chick Boutique, I do not know the exact measurement, not the measurements, the exact when the adjustments don't cover it. But if you go to help.whatnot.com, they actually spell out, look under shipping adjustments, they will tell you there are certain adjustments that they will not cover, but they explain exactly what those are in help.whatnot.com. So some of it is box size, some of it is going up too many levels. You have like your weight levels. Some of it is too many levels. So they actually spell that out. I just don't remember what it is, so I don't want to give you misinformation. Go to the actual source. You can find exactly what it is there.
Oh, thank you, Squirrely.
Let's see, am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing it. If I missed your question, please put it back in. I'm not trying to ignore you. One of the other things I heard, and this is one of the other things I heard on the Whatnot streets this week. We got a little more time. We're good. Let's run another giveaway. You're not doing your job. You're not running any of the giveaways.
I have way too many jobs, and you fired me, lady.
Thank you on the podcast. If you guys are unaware, we do a podcast with I Love Discounts. That is Tony and Lysandra, and Green 13, which is Jeremy, every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. It is on YouTube, but it is a live podcast where, just like here, you can come and ask questions. You can go and ask questions there, but you hear from more than just me. You get three other differing opinions on whatever topic it is. This week, we are talking tech. So last week, we talked all about chat shows. And this week we're talking about technology and what do you need from the basics to the advanced. We're not doing the how-to, but we're talking about different types of technology. That's
right, Coastal. I'm the wizard.
Magnolia, you need to make sure that you have your, oh goodness, you guys help me out. What's it called? Is it ground? It's the top setting. I can picture it in my head. If anybody can help me out with the first class mail. Thank you, Libby. First class mail option turned on in your settings, and for every single show, you need to go into your shipping settings. Then you need to pick stickers, our card category, and set your item to 1 ounce.
Millicent, I'm not that pretty. Why would you want to see my face? And I can play around with that one. That would be interesting. Did you catch that show when I put a hat on Tracy and sunglasses?
Yeah, he likes to put funny things on me.
That's going to be interesting.
I'm surprised he's not doing it right now. Okay, so I heard, this is the other piece of advice I heard. The algorithm sees how you, and it's first class only available if live. It's available in your show setting. So you should be able to set it up in your show setting. You can't do that, like you can't get PWE. Well, I mean, I guess you could, and if you're selling stickers. But yes, it's for your shows.
I love discounts. I have a Darth Vader mask.
He does. I'm gonna do something with it this Halloween. The algorithm sees how much you price items and places you according to price. I heard this. Again, I don't agree with that. There is nowhere in help.whatnot.com under discoverability that it talks about price. Y'all, I said this on Monday. I said this in our chat show. Not all chat shows are created equal. There are quite a few that has bad advice. And look there are people who, I don't think they're trying to give bad advice. I really don't. I think they're too new to be giving seller support shows, and they don't know. And they're giving advice based just by lack of knowledge, not by being on long enough to talk from experience. Not not all know what the hell they're talking about. That's it. They don't all know what the hell they're talking about. Thank you, Sassy. I was trying to be like really PC with it, but yes. The algorithm does not see how much you price things. Whatnot cares about how much money they make. The algorithm does not see how much you price things. There is nowhere, I'm going to leave it to Sassy. There's nowhere that it says that. So that was just one of those things I heard. Let's see. Well, we all know, we heard this at the summit. Giveaways don't help you in the algorithm. Tapping the screen doesn't help you in the algorithm. We all heard that stuff. So, here was one. Oh my gosh. I went into a show and I literally was blown away, and it was so blatantly wrong that I couldn't even, like, I didn't even want to talk in the chat. Luckily, there was only a couple of people in there. You cannot watch the summit online. They did not do it, but Whatnot did say they may be putting clips out, so follow their blog. Is it blog.whatnot.com?
Blog Teams.
Blog Teams?
I'll put it in the
He'll
screen.
put it. Follow this blog site. It's Whatnot produced, and they did say that they may put some of it out there. But what was it? Oh, you're waiting to hear. Okay, this was so bad.
Here it is.
We'll show this and I'll tell you. There you go. Follow that to see what they put out. They don't like to admit it, but they don't actually know everything that helps and hurts in the algorithm. Exactly. Okay. This person was telling people to do a giveaway and make...
Before she continues on the rant, there is the address on the very top, blog.teamwhatnot.com. I know, I'm fired.
They're saying do a giveaway and make it a choice giveaway. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you use the Whatnot giveaway system, as long as you're using Whatnot in the proper way to do a giveaway. There's nothing wrong with having a choice of items for your giveaway. That's okay. You explain it in the giveaway. Miami Vice, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. So when you go to write your giveaway, you need to say you will get a choice of, and you need to describe those items. You have to be very clear. You need to show it. You need to describe it. What are those items, okay? So I can have 2 or 3 things here. Describe it, run the giveaway, it's okay. But then what they were saying is, then you put a star, a sticker or something on the bottom, and if they pick the right one, they get something extra. That's an additional giveaway. That is not allowed. You are now, you're telling them, oh, if you get the star, you're gonna get something special. That's not allowed. That is a game of chance outside of the Whatnot system. So, and they were also saying, like, you don't have to give buyers the same giveaway, or like a form filler the same giveaway. There was a ton of misinformation. Y'all, if you're going to do giveaways, they are federally regulated. Federal law. Do it in the what? That's who I married, y'all. That's the man I married right there.
That's what you want to see. I love discounts.
That's what he looks like. I roll over to that in bed in the morning, you guys. You should feel bad for me. That was way too random. It is federal law. Giveaways are monitored by federal law. Okay? Just make sure you're using the Whatnot system. Okay? Don't do anything outside the Whatnot system. That's all. It's super simple.
So, chick, I was just checking to see if you're awake.
All right. Darth Noel, yes. So we are the family that dresses up every Halloween. Maybe next Monday we'll bring some of our pictures, or maybe we'll wait till Halloween. I don't know. We have done family Halloween stuff every year since we've been together. Now you know why he has duct tape and zip ties. There you go.
And the interesting part is that that's not a mask. That's actually my face.
He's actually a really good artist, like with makeup. Like he can do like not like normal everyday makeup, but like the Halloween makeup stuff.
Here, I'll give you another glimpse.
Yeah, those are contacts too. He normally has dark brown eyes.
So don't get me upset.
All right. Final thing I heard, y'all, and you know I'm about to get on my soapbox here. Let me just, we got to give, we have, there, let me get this giveaway.
Oh, thank you, Grams Goodies.
Oh, we have a pre-bid. I'm going to do the pre-bid too. Don't let me forget. We're going to do that. So if you hide a star or something on certain items and tell people if they buy the item with star, they can get an extra price, that is against the rules. That's encouraging them to buy a bunch of stuff and you never know what the possibility is. That is against the rules. Those are like games of chance outside the Whatnot system.
Hey, Jennifer. Good morning. I hadn't seen you.
So, I was in a show and instead of running a giveaway, they put people's names in a bucket. Yeah, grandma's goodies. I actually reported. I don't report a lot of people, but that type of stuff I will report every freaking day because it is wrong as all get out. So there are sellers out there who do this. Every time you buy something, your name goes in this bucket, and this is who I'm going to pull from for a giveaway at the end of the show. What they are doing is trying to circumvent form fillers. It's exactly what they're doing. They're doing a buyer's giveaway that form fillers can't enter. That's against federal law. That will get you disciplined by Whatnot in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what the consequence is, if you're booted, I don't know what Whatnot will do to you, but it is wrong. Magnolia, form fillers are, by federal law, every giveaway has to be open to everybody. Even though it's called a buyer's giveaway, if you do it, you can click on the giveaway. There's a link that takes you to a form and allows you to enter that giveaway without buying something. It is law. It is the way it is. And if people don't like it, then don't do buyer's giveaways. It's not difficult whatsoever. But putting stuff in a bucket, 100%. And the person who I reported, they blocked me because I sent them a message and I told them, I'm like, look, this is wrong. And then I got blocked, but that's okay.
Yes, they can suspend your account, preventing you from selling or even buying, all the way to ban your account completely and not allowing you to come back into the app.
Yeah. Lost Mermaid gifts, I would be very careful with that. We are not technically allowed to incentivize sales with extra stuff. The extras are the giveaway stuff. So if you say, hey, everybody who buys, I'm going to put something in your box, we're not really allowed to. We got to be careful with that. Just put it in the box.
It's considered a coercive buy, and that is not something that Whatnot looks very good, and they can have consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a red chat saying that I get blocked a lot. I really don't get blocked a lot, but I do get blocked by the people that I offend because I will call out the truth time and time again. And people don't like when I call out the truth. So then they block me. So, but you know what? That's okay. I'm not going to go to those shows anyways. Last one. The last thing I heard. There's a lot of people who can't handle the truth, unfortunately. So yeah, you can add it. Just be careful about it.
You can add it.
It's
Just
a really
don't
great
advertise.
kind of area that Whatnot has.
You can add it. Just don't advertise.
Yes.
Don't say that because that feels as a coercive buy.
Okay, so Jennifer says, I created an engagement bingo. Once bingo gets hit, I run a flash sale at $1 starts. So many followers, so many bingos, but and those are totally okay. You can totally do something that benefits everybody in the normal course of your business, such as $1 start, flash sale, low start, run a giveaway. You can say, hey, as soon as we get 20 people in the room, I'm going to hit that giveaway, run a giveaway. That's okay because you're using the tools the proper way within the Whatnot system. And even in help.whatnot.com, they call out that you can do that. They're and I forget the exact, I wish I could tell you the exact place, but I do know that I've read in help.whatnot.com that says, you can say, hey, when we hit every 10th sale, we're going to run $1 start. Or if, whoever gets the trivia question right gets to pick what item we run at $1. Because then that benefits everybody. It's not a game of chance. Everybody has equal opportunity to bid on an item that you run for $1 within the auction system. Flash sale process. So flash sale, I'm not a big fan of them. I have done a few of them. I'm not a big fan because I feel it's a clunky system. I think it's a great idea, but it's clunky. They need to make it easier to use. It's basically when there's something in your bid. I'll go and do it right now.
I'm going to make it a lot easier for you. And this is the best way to find some of the answers. Not that you cannot ask, but if you want the real answer, help.whatnot.com. You get into the search and you can type flash sale. And there it is. And you go directly right there and it tells you how to create one and what to do and what it is.
Sean MC, congratulations on that giveaway.
That way, you don't rely on someone
Congratulations.
else telling you what it is or how they do it and why they do it. You can see it right there for yourself.
Yep. But basically, flash sale just makes something cheaper. You pick one item in your bin. You can do multiple items, but you have to do it one at a time. So the good grabs, that's answering your question at the same time. And you put it on flash sale. You could pick, do you want this to be a certain percentage or a certain dollar off, and for how long you want that discount to run. So then it shows in your bin that it's on sale for a certain amount of time for a certain dollar amount.
So if you have multiple items, multiple quantities of the same item, a flash sale will help you a lot, because then you can run the flash sale for those multiple quantities, and you can sell the same item at a discounted price.
Yes, and they won't drop off. Magnolia, they don't go away, but you have to physically go back in and either turn the flash sale off. There's also a toggle button when you set the flash sale up. It says revert to regular price or revert to original price after the sale. So if you run a flash sale for 2 hours and you have that toggle on, it'll revert back to whatever the normal price is, and it'll still stay there. But that flash sale will always kind of show in the background for you until you physically toggle the flash sale button off. One of my people's reached out to Whatnot, and they said that if you post the floor and the ceiling and the details, list the potential wins, that's okay. Oh, so you're answering the question about cards. Okay. Can I sell cards without showing the card until they win? That is like the mystery box type stuff. I do not do that. I don't want to give you an answer because honestly, I don't know. I'm going to be straight up here. I don't do them. I don't even tip my toe into any of that type of stuff because it is so highly, there's so many rules about it. Again, for that one, help.whatnot.com is going to be your absolute best friend. They will specifically spell out every single rule you need to follow. And I do suggest making sure you understand and follow them. There are a lot of people getting in trouble for doing things like that wrong. That's part of the reason I just refuse to do them.
We won't forget the pre-bid. No, we have to.
Yeah.
And grandma's, she fired me, so I'm gonna be here soon. Found myself with a lot of free time, so.
I always rehire him after the show. We got this thing called like a marriage license. It makes it very difficult to like actually fire him the real way, you know? Okay, let's do this. We're gonna run these pre-bids here before I forget. I don't wanna forget. We have this, you guys, this is cool. Can I open this up? There you go. All right, so we have this egg thing with all these little like, I think I put nutcrackers, but I think I should have put soldiers. I think I said it wrong. And it comes with the original paperwork. So it has some original paperwork, but look at what's inside. You get all the little soldier guys. I don't know what this is. And a red ball. I don't know why there's a red ball, but you get a red ball in there. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 soldier guys. I think I said nutcracker, they're soldiers, so forgive me. We're gonna go ahead and run it. Oh, is it bowling? Is that what it is? Oh, look at you guys are so smart. I could have just read the paperwork. Hold on. Let me read the paperwork. Bowling, Polish style. You're right. It says it right here. Bowling, Polish style. There you go. All right. We're going to run it. It's going right now. You'll get the paperwork and all these little pieces. I just saw the egg and the things inside, and I'm like, oh, cool pieces. This is neat. Thank you for your bids. And Arlene's with the first purchase. Congratulations.
Thank you for your first purchase.
Let me get all the little pieces back in there.
Thank you, Southern Charm. Yes, ducks in the chat for first purchase.
I always forget that. And then Wedgwood, you guys, I have a bunch more Wedgwood. I picked up a lot of Wedgwood today. I'm only doing this, but I am going to, in shows coming up, I'm going to have some Wedgwood. So we have 2 Wedgwood ashtrays. We have the little one and we have the bigger one. So we're going to sell them as a set. No chips or cracks. They are in great shape. So 2, we'll show you from the top, Wedgwood ashtrays. They look good under like small little pots for plants. This one's kind of small, but where you just see the outer rim. It looks really good. If you're not, if you don't do ashtrays for the general purpose of ashtrays. Shalom, thank you so much. That is heading to you. And then this vase is so
Thank you.
pretty, you guys. This has just the right amount of crazing. Now I did put that there's crack lines, but they're kind of like crazed crack lines. I'll show you up close. Let's see. All right, so we have this guy. It is ceramic, and up close I'll show you where those kind of crack lines are, but it is just full of crazing. And if you don't like the florals, which not the florals, the leaves, I absolutely love. You also have that side. And no marks on the bottom. I was correct. Nothing on the bottom. Can you do this, camera? I want them to see the top of that, just so they know for sure before they bid. So you can see down there, there's kind of like a crack line, but it's not like, if I do on the outside, you can kind of see it, but it's not like I can't feel it. So it's like a deep crazed mark, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. And it is, really quick here, 8 1/4 inches tall. And that's running right now. But look at the crazing, how beautiful it is. I love crazing. It is really gorgeous. This is a beautiful piece. And Robbie's Unique Treasures, congratulations. All right, we're gonna do these 2 totes.
On its way to you.
We're gonna have to show you from the top. I'll hold them up here. You're gonna get both of these. So this is a Mama Bear. It is like your book bag totes, like your general canvasy type totes. They are brand new. We have a Mama Bear and we have a Be Happy, which is upside down. They're both the same size. They're good size. They'll hold a fair amount of books or some groceries when you go shopping. Estate sales? Yeah, absolutely. They're just big enough to not, so you're not carrying a big old like IKEA bag, but you have something to put your goodies in. Thank you for the bids. I appreciate it. You're going to get both of them. Shalom. Thank you. Heading your way. And then
Thank you.
I have been slowly, piece by piece, liquidating my pink azalea. You may need more than one for a reseller for a really full day of shopping, but it'll get you through, like, the beginning of an estate sale. So you don't have to keep going back to the table. You can fill it up and then take it to the table. Tote bag as a kid, I thought they made a mistake. It was so cool. Oh, that's neat, Millicent. This is a butter tub. This is Pink Azalea by Noritake. This one's from my personal collection. So it comes with the little inside piece that fits in there. This is in perfect condition. Very, very minor paint wear. This is all hand painted. So this is around a 1940s, 50s Noritake piece. And like I said, I had a huge collection of this that I'm slowly liquidating. So if you buy this and it's a pattern that you're like, oh, I want more pieces, and you're interested in more, message me because I have a ton of the Pink Azalea. How do we switch the cameras? That's to put butter on. Robbie's, that's going to you. Thank you so much. So you put it in the bowl, or this way. Put it in the bowl, you put butter on there. I'm not that fancy. I use a regular butter dish, so I don't know. I'm not that fancy. My husband does the cameras. We actually have how many now? 7 cameras we use?
We have about 6 connected right now, but I can always add more on the fly.
Yeah, so my husband's an AV person, so you do not need to, I've got to tell new people here, you do not need what we have to run a successful Whatnot show. If you have an iPhone and a decent lighting, that's all you need. You don't need what we have. We have it because this is my husband. It was part of what he did for many, many years, and it's his hobby, so he gets into it. That's kind of his thing. But we have our camera at the top, so you can see from the top view. We have a camera over here, so you can see the side. We have the one I'm facing. We have one facing him. We have one back here in our black light box. So he controls it all on a big switchboard. It's his past, yes. His past life, it worked out well. Basically, this is what happened, you guys. You want to know the truth?
Would you like to see a peek?
He'll show you, but before you show it, this is the truth. I started doing Whatnot, and he told me, he's like, you're boring, we need to make this better. And then he came up with the graphics. True story, it's exactly what happened. And we are talking technology on Sunday on our podcast. Thank you for reminding me I love discounts. All right, are you giving a peek here?
Yes, I'll give you a quick sneak peek. of what we're on. Give me a minute because I need to take my headphones off.
Just ignore the mess. We have a studio space. It's actually very, very small. I married him totally. I'm like, what? Not checklist? Can you meet these requirements? Okay, I'll say yes. I'll say I do.
Here we go.
Let's see. All right. So now he's on his phone. Hi, everybody. We actually work out of a very small studio spot in our basement. So getting up from his side. That's all of his controls there. That is Space Command Center Central. That's what he sees when he is running our shows, all of his switchers. And then we're coming back to where I am at. That is the TV screen that I look at. So now you are getting my view.
And that's where I sit.
It's where he sits. And then, hello, you see me. Then I'm here. We have all of the stuff I run back here. Come this way. Walk over here. Are you going to do that? All of the stuff I run is back here. We have a black box in this corner. So when I do my glow shows and you see me move it from the table, I put it back here. We have lights and a camera there. And then when stuff sells, it goes over here. And that's it. That's the way it works. So we could do a newscast.
Actually, I use it for the reselling roundtable for YouTube.
We do use it for YouTube. Again, do not be discouraged. Look, this is his hobby, okay? There are many times.
It's not just my hobby. It's what I used to do for a
what he used to
living
do, yes.
for a long time. And so all the equipment that you saw, it's equipment that I used to have because I used to run events. And so that's the reason why
It's been collected over years. Exactly. It's his passion. But you will hear on Sunday night, one of the things I'm going to talk about is the frustration of this sometimes. And I can't work my own remote control, y'all. Seriously. We are complete opposites in this. So you're going to get all sides of technology on Sunday night. Have comments turned on as well, like we do here on this app. Yes, Swamp Chick, our YouTube does have comments, and I actually, Noelle was reading some to me this morning, and I'm like, are we answering those? Like, have you put answers? Have you put replies? So if we have not, it's because we're just realizing this fact.
Lux and Laura, yes, absolutely. I'll be more than happy to. I usually, if people are interested, they can send me a DM, and I set up a tutorial one-on-one. And I walk them through the ways that they can achieve the same things that we do.
Yep. All right, we're going to do this next pre-bid here because I've kept these people waiting for way too long. Another clear glass, cut glass, fancy little creamer here. Again, this would be another one you can put in your vanity, you can put in your bathroom, or you can use it as a creamer. And that's running right now. That is probably about 4 inches tall, 3.5.
Lost Mermaid. Yeah, I don't think she knew that I could do all this.
I didn't know when I married him. Upcycled yours with a first purchase, too. Thank you.
Thank you for your first purchase.
And our Homeco bells. So we're going to do these two together. You get the little boy and the little girl. They're a little washed out. There we go. He adjusted the lights. So you get the boy, looks like he's playing a violin, and the girl is playing a harp. They are ceramic. They do both ring. I'll show you. They have their little clapper things. They're in great shape. You have a Homeco sticker in there. That one rings. Another Homeco sticker down there. And that one rings. We're going to get them going right now. You get both together. They're running. Thank you so much for your bids. I appreciate it, you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Lighting can make a difference. And as you can see, we have a lot of lights all over the place.
Shalom. Millicent, I would love to have no cords. I would absolutely love that. It is like, it gives me anxiety. I look at his stuff over here and I'm just like this because the cords drive me absolutely insane. But
I understand the no cords issue. The only problem is that wireless communications are still not the best way to do it. They're improving a lot, but the most reliable way to get everything done is through a cord. They're faster, they're more reliable, and if it fails, you already know kind of where to find it.
So I take the good with the bad.
Good morning, Redneck Picking.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, B. Haynes. His office is even worse. Not with the cords. We are two very, very different styles. I love Discount Southern Charm. They both come and visit us at our home. They can attest to this. I have my collections. I love my collections. I have art on the walls. I have a cabinet full of milk glass. But I like collections that are contained and displayed beautifully. My husband, and I think it's cultural, likes to make sure that every single piece that he has is displayed. There are probably upwards of 400, 500 Star Wars figures in his office.
She is exaggerating.
Everywhere. They're just everywhere. I tell him all the time, I'm like, if you want to talk to me, come into my office, because I can't go into your office.
It's called organized chaos.
It's called a mess.
And I know where everything is.
So with that, we're going to go raid. We're winding down now, so we are going to raid. Jason visits with the rest. We'll allow visits with the rest of you. I get full of Star Wars. My husband is a huge Star Wars. Don't touch your piles. I like everything, but it's only what's visible and somewhat what's in the closets. Like my towels are not all folded perfect. He's the one who'll fold towels perfect, but he'll have his office a mess. I'm the type of person that if I want something, I need to be able to grab it and use it. He will bury something in a tote at the bottom of the tote and put 5 totes on top of it. And then when he needs that one item, he'll go and remove all 5 totes to get to the one. If I have to do that, I just go to the store and buy a new one.
That's correct, Jennifer. I know where it is. And I know that if I need it, I know where to find it. And ask her about the black light. And she puts it in one place one morning and another place one morning and another place one morning. This morning she was looking for something and she was like, where is it? Did you move it? I didn't even touch it.
I have lost more black lights than I care to admit that I've lost. So, all right, with that, let's go raid. You guys have a good rest of your week. We will be back Friday morning. We are talking about handling challenges as a live seller. That's our topic for Friday morning. So we hope to see you there. Susan, yes, Southern Charm, me too.
I already got the raid.
And
this is going to be really cool. I really like what she does. She's a great artist. I purchased a couple of her hoodies.
Oh, I know her.
It's going to be TLC Mama Bear. Be a little graceful because she's running on her cell phone. She doesn't have very good signal where she's at, but it's beautiful. So enjoy the scenery. And she also sells good coffee and great little snacks.
And ducks in the chat when you get there.
And thank you for stopping by.